Hello YouTube, it's Saint Riot, and coming at you again with more level 200 quality guy, 70 strength, 80 dex, trying out quality weapons at this insane ring level. A reminder that my stats are ludicrous, but you know, you could pull off something similar without going all the way to level 200. This is just kind of the best spot for these quality weapons. Quality, of course, meaning equal strength and dex, but Saint, your dex is a little higher. Yeah, because when you two-hand, your strength gets multiplied by 1.5. Right, okay, we're all caught up. Today, we're going to be using Godfrey's axe. It is a quality weapon, and our attack power when we have the axe two-handed, after we do the roar, that is going to put us at over 1,000 attack power, which is pretty wild. If you don't do the roar two-handed, your attack rating, attack power is 900 something. This weapon is gorgeous to look at. It used to be a full-blown battle axe, but it's been broken in half. So now, yeah, it's just kind of janky junkyard knight, and that's my favorite kind. The backstab damage is insane because, you know, 900 physical AR is wild. The stomp on the roar launches your opponent. A fully charged R2 after that launch is a guaranteed panic roll catch if your opponent doesn't roll correctly. You can also just roar and then tap heavy attack, R2, sorry, and you'll do a little stomp with a big slash, and that's about 900 damage, and it's pretty quick. You can use the roar talisman to increase this effect. You can also use the axe talisman if you're going to do the charged attacks. The Godfrey icon, for some reason I was told, does not affect this at all. Someone said they tested it. I believed them. So I took off the Godfrey icon, and I had originally Godfrey and Roar. I took off the Godfrey, left the Roar talisman on. You could also pair this up with the Highland axe in your offhand. It might actually be pretty good at applying pressure, because guess what? That's where this weapon isn't great. This weapon is not, after it hits someone, it's, you know, you're going to do 900 damage. Alright? But if they have more than 900 hit points, they are going to get very defensive and make it very hard for you to get that final hit in. So you gotta be creative. Alternatively, you could pair this weapon up with another weapon. Maybe the offhand Highland axe would actually be pretty cool. You know, maybe they work well together, using the Highland axe as like a faster roll catch weapon. Alternatively, I like to pair weapons like this up with like a fist weapon, like a cestus, the Qatar, or even the Veteran's Prosthesis, since we are on a quality build, is what I ended up using. So that move right there has a ton of hyper armor. My attacks have a ton of hyper armor, and you are about to see a problem that is like suffering from success. This is what happens when you have too much hyper armor. This is an issue that would happen to people in Bloodborne PvP. I'm people. It would happen to me. I would do an attack that had hyper armor on it, and I would get hit twice instead of once. That's exactly what just happened to that guy. He did an attack that had hyper armor. He can't break himself out of it. So he just took 900 damage from my Stomp R2, heavy attack, sorry. And then he's just stuck doing his move, and he has to eat the rest of my damage. So it ends up doing like 1,600 damage in just one instance. Now, obviously, if you're doing 1,600 damage in an instant like that, you know, your pressure game becomes much less important. But it's not often you're going to land a trade where you get all 1,600 damage out. By the way, I would just remind everyone that did 1,600 damage because that's how much HP that guy had. it could have potentially done more damage. Who knows how much more, but some more than that. So this thing is not lacking for damage with these stats. Certainly not a problem. The backstab damage, as I showed off earlier, the riposte damage, just absolutely bonkers. But pretty cool. For a weapon that is this slow, and it's been sped up. It used to be slower, but they buffed the colossal weapons. They made them a little faster, and as a result, they're faster than they were, making them better at making trades, but not necessarily making them better at applying any real pressure to a player who's capable of pressing the circle button. Now, insofar as like hitting people who drink Estus or something, not Estus, flask. It's very easy to punish someone who's drinking their flask. That's not bad. If you're a Dark Souls 1 fan, if you're a Dark Souls 1 enjoyer, maybe you remember the Great Club. Maybe you remember the Great Club's rolling attack. This has the Great Club rolling attack. And it's insane. Just like the Dark Souls 1 Great Club rolling attack. Maybe a little less damage. Talking about like 700, 800 damage. But on a rolling attack, that's pretty good. Not bad. This weapon has a ton of hyper armor, as we're talking about, and I would like to talk a little bit about the balance of hyper armor, because you're going to see how that works right here. My opponent is dual wielding. He's using whips, which keeps him locked in attacking animation longer. So I can press not R1, not light attack, but heavy attack, R2. And he's stuck in this attack animation for a long period of time. He's not going to break the hyper armor of this colossal weapon. And so I'm able to make a trade with a heavy attack. And a heavy attack is going to do more damage. And more damage means a better chance of beating your opponent. And so that's what you saw there. So if your opponent is dual wielding, straight swords or curved swords or katanas, and they're going for standing L1 light attacks, dual attacks, whatever you want to call it, that's a trade you can make with that heavy attack. This is the good stuff. That's a built-in roll catch right there, baby. Not many weapons have that. When you dodge in Elden Ring, your dodge covers quite a bit of ground. The axe is long enough, it's big enough, that if it hits and you try and roll away from it, if you hit someone and your opponent tries to roll away for no reason, they're going to get bonked with that roll catch, and that's beautiful. Check that out. So this hyper armor is not forever hyper armor. You would think, maybe it's forever hyper armor, but it's not. You can be broken out of it, and that's interesting. And that's the video. Thanks for watching. Later, y'all.